Let's start with the construction of 90 degrees. First of all, you have to construct an angle of 90 degrees at the initial point of a given ray. So you can just start with the ray. I'm naming the ray as OA. You have to construct the angle at the initial point of the ray. So the initial point of the ray is O. Use your compass, place it on the initial point, choose a radius suitable to you. The needle arm of the compass will be placed on that initial point. Please don't place the compass on O, place it on the point on the ray. From where your ray begins, you will be placing your compass there. I have fixed the radius. Please don't change it till we complete the construction. The first step is to draw a semicircle with the radius that you've chosen. So I've drawn a semicircle with center O and a suitable radius. You can take the radius somewhere between 1.5 or 2 to be convenient, or you can take it smaller if you're comfortable with that. The next step is to observe from where do we start drawing those arcs. This is a common mistake which students make whenever you draw a semicircle from a point at which you want to construct your angle. Right now, जो angle construct करना है, मुझे O पे construct करना है. O is the vertex. So मैंने O पे semicircle draw किया है with a suitable radius. Now the next step is to identify from where does 0 degree begin. Your 0 degree starts from the point where this semicircular arc meets your ray. तो ये semicircular arc meet कर रही है यहाँ पे. This point will be your initial point, like starting point for drawing those arcs. Use your compass, place it at the point where your semicircular arc meets the ray. Start from this point, again with the same radius. Without changing the radius, this is the point indicating 0 degrees. You will draw an arc. This point of intersection indicates 60 degrees. If you want, you can write down this here is 0 degrees. This is 60 degrees. From 60 degrees further, we draw another arc with the same radius. Always place your compass needle on the semicircle wherever you are obtaining the points of intersection. This is quite basic. I know I might be taking a little longer than you require, but let's just go over the rules because that's something we want to do. So draw an arc. This point now indicates 120 degrees. The point of intersection of the semicircle with this arc that you have drawn. And to obtain 90 degrees, we bisect the angle between 60 and 120. The angle that's formed between 60 and 120, we will use these 2 points, bisect the angle between them, and the point of intersection will be joined to the vertex in order to obtain 90 degrees. So from the point indicating 60 degrees, I'm going to draw an arc. So it will be a continuous arc indicating 120. 120 wali arc hi aage continue ho gayi. I've just extended it. With the same radius, bring your compass onto the point which indicates 120 degrees and draw another arc. So you will get an intersection of the arcs. ये आर्क्स हमने कहां से ड्रॉ की हैं? एक ड्रॉ की है 60 डिग्री से और एक 120 से. Use your ruler and pencil. So the pencil is sharp enough. Join the vertex to the point of intersection and extend it. And this is the angle measuring 90 degrees. You can name the other end. Use your protractor to verify that the angle that you have constructed is 90 degrees. That's question number 1 done. Just let me know if you have done. I guess you have done by now. Maybe you've done it already before I even started.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question number 2, we have to construct an angle of 45 degrees. So for the construction of the angle with measure 45 degrees, we first of all need to construct an angle of 90 degrees and then we shall bisect. Probably there is no due date, but it will be better if you send your work as soon as you complete it. I'm expecting that the chapters which we did before the break are already completed except for chapter number 10, which we just finished. So you can take your time. You can take this week or the next one to upload chapter number 10. I think I have I just posted it yesterday. So you can complete chapter 10 by next week, and then chapter 11, I guess you will be able to do it side by side while we are doing the questions in the class. All right. For construction of an angle with measure 45 degrees, you want to construct an angle of 90 degrees and then bisect it. That's one way of doing it. There is another way of constructing 45 degrees. Some students prefer that. They do it by bisecting the angle between 30 and 60 degrees. So that is also one way you can do it. And if you ever see it in some other book that construction has been done in a different way, please don't get confused. There are maybe possible more than one way of constructing a particular angle. 45 degrees आप दो तरह से बना सकते हो. The easiest is 90 degree का angle बनाओ, because हमें perpendicular की इतनी ज़्यादा practice होती है, like it's so much on your fingertips, like आप फटाफट से बना लेते हो. तो 90 degree का angle बना के उसकी bisection करनी है. आपको 45 degrees का angle मिल जाएगा. Otherwise, what you can do is you can also bisect the angle between 30 and 60. तो आप 60 degree का angle बनाओगे, 60 को bisect करके आपको 30 मिलेगा, और 30 60 के इन बिटवीन वाला जो स्पेस है वहां पे जब बाइसेक्शन करोगे तो आपको 45 डिग्रीज मिल जाएगा. Sounds a little lengthier compared to the other one, but it's almost the same, because 90 की कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए आप 60 120 then bisection करते हो. The other way is 60 30 and then bisection. Both ways you will get 45 degrees. So I'm going with the one I've already done. You will need to go ahead and do it all over again. पूरा का पूरा 90 डिग्री का आप एंगल ड्रॉ करोगे, सॉरी कंस्ट्रक्ट करोगे, एंड देन यू विल बाइसेक्ट. नाउ द इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग यू वांट टू रिमेंबर हियर इज, जब आपने बाइसेक्शन करनी है, I am saying bisect the angle of 90 degrees to obtain 45 degrees. Which points you want to use? You would like to use 0 degrees. आप एक 0 डिग्री वाला पॉइंट यूज करोगे टू बाइसेक्ट 90 डिग्री एंगल बाइसेक्ट करना है तो कौन कौन से पॉइंट्स यूज करने हैं? The starting point, which is 0 degrees, and the point on the semicircle which indicates 90 degree. Please do not use this intersection of arcs. ये वाला पॉइंट नहीं यूज करना, आपको ये वाला पॉइंट यूज करना है, राइट है. This point indicates 90 degrees. So when I will be bisecting the angle 90, I'm going to use this point. Observe where I have placed the compass on the semicircle. And the radius is still the same. If you want, you can change, but I have just used the same radius. So you will be drawing an arc from the point which indicates 90 degree, and then from the point which indicates 0 degrees. You will get a point of intersection. This point of intersection will be joined to the vertex O, and you will obtain an angle of 45 degrees. Anyone with questions still here? How to construct these angles? I have done 60, 120 in between these two. Let's take a look at the next question. Question number 3, construct the angles of the following measurements. First one is 30 degrees. 30 degrees will be obtained by bisecting the angle measuring 60 degrees. 22 and a half, this will be obtained by bisecting the angle measuring 45 degrees. And 15 degrees will be obtained by bisecting the angle measuring 30 degrees. So there will be some angles which require multiple steps, like for second part, 45 degrees बनाने के लिए आप क्या करोगे? पहले आप 90 का एंगल बनाओगे, उसको बाइसेक्ट करोगे, 45 डिग्रीज का एंगल मिलेगा, फिर 45 डिग्रीज को बाइसेक्ट करोगे, आपको 22.5 मिलेगा. Remember, whenever you are bisecting an angle, always use the points which are on the semicircle. जहां पे भी आर्क्स की इंटरसेक्शन हो रही है, वो पॉइंट कभी भी नहीं यूज करना है. This is something very important. Never ever use the point where the arcs are intersecting. Always use a point which lies on the semicircle. So right now, angle AOC, as you can see here, is 45 degrees. If I wanted to construct 22 and a half, अगर मुझे 22 and a half degrees angle बनाना होता, which points would I use? I would be using the point which
45
indicates
degree and 0 degree.
That's correct. This is the point which indicates 45 degrees. I'll just draw an arc. That point will get highlighted. So as you can see, where you see that green dot, that point indicates 45 degrees. And again, it's not necessary because I have written 0, 60, 90, 120 just for you to remember. आपको exam में वो indicate करना जरूरी नहीं है. So I have drawn an arc right now from the point which indicates 45 degrees. And then the other point, sorry, the other arc will be from 0 degrees itself. And you get point of intersection for the two arcs. Join that point of intersection with the vertex. Your angle AOD measures 22.5 degrees. I would advise you to practice the construction of these angles if the initial point was on the other end. अगर हमारा initial point right side पे होता, तब हम जब angles construct करते तो किस तरह से होते? Do practice that also. Anyone with questions here?
No, ma'am.
All right. This is question number 1. You have done question number 2, question number 3, second part. Let's do question number 3, first part. So again, you have to start with ray or a line segment. And question number 3, it's not indicated. So I'm starting with a line segment here. Let's name the line segment as AB. I will be constructing the angle at point A. Start with compass. A will be the vertex. This will be the center. Choose a suitable radius. Do not change it while you complete your construction. And the first thing we want to do is we want to draw a semicircle at the vertex. We want to obtain 30 degrees. So what I would like to do is I would like to place my compass at the point which indicates 0 degrees. So right now I have placed the compass at the point indicating 0 degrees. This is the point where the semicircular arc or the circular arc touches the line segment or the ray. जो base बन रहा है यहाँ पे. Wherever your arc touches the line segment, that will be your starting point. That point is 0 degrees. Always start from 0. Do not start from any point which is outside. बाहर semicircle कहीं पे hang हो रहा है, वहां से नहीं शुरू करना, गलत हो जाएगा. Even if you have drawn a proper semicircle, आपको लग रहा होगा कि ये align हो रहा है. The other end will fall in the same straight path as the line segment or the ray itself. Even then, observe अगर आपको करके लग रहा भी होगा तब भी नहीं करना. Always start from the point where your semicircular arc touches your line segment. So this point indicates 0 degrees. When you draw an arc from 0 degrees, the first angle that you obtain indicates 60 degrees. I need to obtain 30 degrees. I'm going to use these 2 points and bisect the angle between them in order to obtain 30 degrees. So 60-degree arc I've extended, bringing my compass onto the point on the semicircle again, where I have indicated 60, draw another arc. The point of intersection will give me 30 degrees. Join the point of intersection of the 2 arcs to the vertex of the angle, and you will obtain 30 degrees.
Ma'am, it's BAC.
All right, all right. This is BAC. Thank you. This is third question, first part. Third question, third part. You need to obtain an angle of 15 degrees. तो पहले 60 का एंगल बनेगा, फिर 30 का बनेगा. 30 को हम फर्दर बाइसेक्ट करेंगे तो हमें 15 डिग्रीज मिलेंगे. So you will need to repeat all these steps for the third part as well. Start with the line segment at one of the ends, construct 60 degrees, bisect 60 degrees, obtain 30 degrees. And please make sure I'm not doing that right now. Always proceed after confirming. Use your protractor, confirm that the measure is 60, 30, and then proceed for the next step if required. जब भी बाइसेक्शन करनी है एक बार वेरीफाई कर लो कि जो आप एंगल बाइसेक्ट कर रहे हो वो उतना ही है जितना आप चाहते हो. अदरवाइज वो बाइसेक्शन वाला भी वेस्ट जाएगा और जो प्रीवियस स्टेप्स आप कर चुके हो वो भी वेस्ट जाएंगे. Let's bisect the angle measuring 30 degrees. So I'm placing the compass again on the semicircle, the point which indicates 30 degrees. Draw an arc. Then the second arc will be from 0 degrees. The closer you get, the point of intersection of the arcs becomes quite close to each other. As you can see, the arcs are almost overlapping. So be very careful. You will be able to observe the correct point if your pencil you have used in your compass is sharp enough. Always keep your pencil sharp enough so that you can identify ये जो arcs हैं वो कहाँ पे exactly intersect कर रही हैं. Overlap कर रही हैं बीच में 1 millimeter में भी 2 millimeters कई बार portion होता है जहाँ पे intersection नजर आ रही होती है. तो वो 1 millimeter 2 millimeters में 1-2 degrees इधर उधर हो जाएंगे आपके. Join that point of intersection with the vertex. Name your ray. And then write down angle BAD measures 15 degrees. Any student from D section, beta, can you tell me which question or which exercise you are doing? Have you started already with constructions?
And we have completed the circles chapter, and now we have to start this chapter construction.
Okay, okay. You had to start today. All right, all right. Please don't let this period go to waste. ऐसा ना हो कल सर को वापस बोलो कि सर हमें दोबारा से करवा दो. You should be doing construction, and this is not anything new. Something you've already done time and again. बार बार आपने किया हुआ है. Repeatedly आपने ये angles सारे construct किए हुए हैं. This is just a quick revision of what you have already done. Sometimes in 2 marks you get this type of question. Simple angle की construction आ जाती है. If anyone is still completing the first 3 questions, any part is pending, let me know. So, okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. Let's do question number 4. Question number 4. You have to construct the following angles and then verify by measuring them by a protractor. This is something we know by default. कि जब भी आप कंपास की हेल्प से एंगल्स कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो आपने उनको वेरीफाई जरूर करना है whether or not it's written there, just to be sure. So these angles are actually a little complicated than the ones we have already done. 75 degrees. This will be obtained by bisecting the angle
90 and 60.
60 degrees and 90 degrees. What about 105?
90 and 120.
So 75 is an acute angle. This will be before 90. 105 is obtuse. This will be after 90. So 90 and 120. Then afterwards, we have 135. For 135, there are 2 ways. Just like 45, 135 had 2 ways. Like one of them is quite easier. The other one is a little complicated. It requires multiple steps. Anyone who can answer 135.
120 and 150. 120.
Okay, bisect the angle between 120 and 150. All right. But see, 120 आपको easily मिलता है जब आप draw करते हो. You start with a ray. आपने जहाँ पे angle draw करना है, vertex से आप semi circle draw करते हो. आपको 60 degrees मिलते हैं, आपको 120 degrees मिलते हैं. How would you obtain 150?
120 and 180.
आपको थोड़ा और आगे काम करना पड़ेगा. You started from 0, obtained 60, 60 से 120 पे गए, 120 से आगे जाओगे आपको मिल जाएगा 180 degrees. You will bisect the angle between 120 and 180 in order to obtain 150. आपको 150 degrees मिलेगा. उसके बाद आप ये वाली जो portion है 120, 150 के बीच वाला इसको bisect करोगे. So there are multiple steps here. What would be the other way? Anyone? It will be obtained by bisecting the angle between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. Would it be right?
Yes, ma'am.
अगर आपके पास 90 डिग्री का एंगल है, like roughly stating, आपको इस तरह से 90 डिग्री का एंगल मिलता है. If you bisect the angle between 0 degrees and 90 on this side, the side indicating acute angles, इधर अगर आप बाइसेक्शन करते हो आपको 45 डिग्रीज का एंगल मिलता है. अगर आप 90 क्रॉस कर जाओ, 90 के बाद आपको यहाँ पे 180 चाहिए. अगर आप इधर बाइसेक्शन करते हो तो आपको यहाँ पे 135 डिग्रीज मिलता है. That's the second way you can do it. Let me know which one seems easier.
90 and 180.
90 and 180.
90 and 180.
All right, all right. Let's start by first part, 75 degrees. Be very careful again before you start with question number 4. एंगल्स बनाने के लिए जब हम इंटरसेक्शन ड्रॉ करेंगे आर्क्स की, वो इंटरसेक्शन जो होगी वो बहुत क्लोज होगी, तो आपकी आर्क्स ओवरलैप कर सकती हैं. प्लीज मेक श्योर आपकी पेंसिल्स शार्प हैं. अपनी कंपास को एक बार दोबारा लेवल कर लो बिफोर यू स्टार्ट विद क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. वर्टिकली टेबल पे रख के उसको लेवल करके फिर बिगिन करना. Start with a line segment or a ray if you want. So I've started with the line segment here. You can take any length for the line segment. The vertex of the angle that I'm going to construct will be point O. So I will choose a suitable radius for my compass. With O as center, draw a semicircle. Bring your compass onto the point which indicates 0 degrees. Obtain 60, 120, and then 90. This is 60. Then I have 120. Bisecting the angle between these two, I will obtain 90 degrees. If you want, you can draw the line representing 90 degrees as a dotted line. I'm just going to draw it roughly here. Use your protractor, verify. So this here is 90 degrees. Once you have verified, let's proceed to the next step. I would like to bisect the angle between 60 and 90 now. Keep in mind, 75 will be between 60 and 90 will be right here on the semicircle. Do not use this point of intersection. If you want to write this down somewhere, please write it down. You can label it in your notebook, like right there, कि ये point को use नहीं करना. Point जो semicircle पे है उसको use करना है. This is the point which indicates 90 degrees. So I'm going to use my compass, bring it to the point which indicates 90 degrees. You can see I've not changed the radius. The arc will be between 60 and 90. So bringing my compass to the point which indicates 60 degrees, I would like to draw another arc. And as you can see, the arc is continuous. जो आपने पहले 60 से एक आर्क बनाई थी वो आगे कंटिन्यू हो गई है. It seems like you have extended that. And if your pencil were not sharp enough, you would see 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters of intersection here. And it will be difficult for you to figure out के कौन से point से join करना है vertex को. So do it carefully. Join your vertex to this point of intersection, extend it through, label the arm. Use your protractor and verify. As you can see, the angle that I've obtained right here, it's exactly 75 degrees. And you can write down angle AOB measures 75 degrees. And if I were to construct 105, I will be doing the bisection of angle lying between 90 and 120. It will be on the other side now. I'm just going to use the same construction. I'll just change the color so that you can see. Bring your compass where you have point indicating 90 degrees. Draw an arc from 90 degrees and the other one from 120 degrees. Join the point of intersection to the vertex, extend it. Check your compass. So mine seems to be a little off. You can just see if it is fine. Yeah, it's a little off. Mine is 106 degrees. So maybe there is some mistake. So you can just verify every time you are doing construction. This angle right here will be your